Okay, so just had a friend drop off a S600 V12. Ask him what's wrong with it, and he says, just drive it. Just drive it. You'll be able to tell, right? What's it gonna do? It better be something obvious, so let's go see what it does. All right. Sounds like a normal V12 starting. The motor mounts are resonating through the frame of the car. See if you can hear that. Can you hear that growling? Listen. Even just when I put more load on the engine through the power steering pump, you can hear it. Oh yeah, that's rough. That is rough. All right, let's see what it feels like driving. All right, here we go. That is a really bright moon. I mean, feels fine. I mean, the motor mounts are worse when the engine's under load, so it's vibrating everything. Is that what he's talking about? Just drive it, he says. We're driving. I don't really understand what I'm looking for. Is that it then? Like the motor mounts, is that what we're talking about? I expected it to be something like barely safely drivable. Everything's fine. The alignment's doesn't pull anywhere. Power's there. Check engine light. I mean, like, at what speeds do I go? Does it do it while accelerating or braking? Or I don't even know what I'm looking for. I guess let me message him now and be like, okay, I drove it. What is it? All right, I just messaged him and asked for more info, or to tell me what I'm supposed to be looking for. While I'm waiting for that response, I'm just going to do the general inspection on the car, like I do with everyone, and see if there's anything crazy wrong with this thing. This is fully optioned out, as it would be. It is a S-Class, the highest model series Mercedes makes, and a V12 S600. This is one step before the Maybach. Like, this is what the Maybach would be in current generation. Alcantara headliner, sunroof cover, light up rear vanity mirrors. So nice. All leather, everything. All right, let's check this thing out. All right, upon receiving more information, evidently there's no power. So I'm going to move it back outside, idle it up to operating temperature so that I can actually get on it and do a couple pulls and see what that's about. Of course, I just limped it around the block. I mean, I just drove it normally. I didn't floor it, so I didn't experience all 600 and however many horses are underneath this bad boy. But I'm going to warm it up now, and then we'll try that again. Okay, here we are, up the temperature now. And I could kind of already feel it there maneuvering through the parking lot. How I had to like press the gas further down than I had to before. Okay, just going on a bit of a longer test drive route. And yeah, sorry. It's pretty evident. Here, let me get over these railroad tracks and maybe you can get a feel for how much power there isn't. I feel like it's substantially worse now with everything being up to operating temperature than it was being cold. Okay. This is full throttle. Hear the gas pedal. Let me let off of it a bit so it shifts. Back to full throttle. That's it. That's all we got. What did we get up to? 41, 2 maybe? So it's usually a bit more than that out of a twin turbo V12. Even just pulling away, I do realize I have to press the gas down a lot further. Usually the throttle mapping on these is so sensitive because there's so much torque. But now you're just driving it like a lower powered normal car, which is not the natural feel. Like I'm at full throttle right now, we're flooring it. So yeah, definitely something wrong. I'm gonna see what that check engine light's about. That'll probably point me in the right direction to see what's going on. Or at least whatever it is needs to get fixed first. I mean, we're diagnosing a running issue, and there's clearly an issue with the engine. So I'm probably going to chase whatever that is and get that fixed, and then go from there. And it will 99% fix, you know, the power issue here, whatever's going on. Okay, just got the diagnostic report back here. We've got an active fault in the engine, along with almost every single thing else. Holy, this has got some stuff wrong. All right, just looking at the engine here. Let's see. Cylinder, ECI ignition system mains. Currently misfiring, and I can get this scroll bar to quit. Bro, bring me down a little bit. I haven't got a mouse yet for this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why aren't they in order? So that is every single cylinder on this side. This is one of the early versions, so let me confirm, but with the V12s, you've got 2 spark plugs per cylinder. So it takes 24 of them, and you've got 1 ignition coil, 1 giant coil pack that goes along the whole length of this engine. 1 here and 1 here. There's only 2 coil packs, and they're entire modules with processing units inside of them and everything. Look at the size of the connector on this thing. This controls all 24 spark plugs, or no, all 12 spark plugs on the side of the engine. And that is most likely the cause. Of course, you can't swap them to figure out. Oh, and a lot of times these things break when you take them out too, which sucks. Nevertheless, I can basically right now go ahead and conclude that, honestly. I mean, what's going to happen? All 6 spark plugs go out at the same time on only the right bank. Misfiring on everything on the right bank. That's got to be what that is. Of course, I make the wrong diagnosis and it doesn't do anything. That typically falls on me, not the customer, so I would be paying for it. But I'd be comfortable paying for it, obviously. That's how confident I am in it. That if I do this and it doesn't fix it, then you know, I cover all that and then re-diagnose the car for free. I mean, for free. You're already paying for diagnosis, and you're paying for a correct diagnosis, or one to the best of my ability. It's not always the case when the diagnosis is this simple, but in this case, it seems to be. Just trying to look at any marks to see if these have been out before. It doesn't look like they have. They might even be after. Why is there not a sticker? It looks like a sticker section for that right there. There's no sticker on it. That's what I was looking at here, too. Is this little square there? Are there not supposed to be stickers there? Part number somewhere? And these both look like they've been touched. Probably by a bunch of hacks that use, like, normal sockets on E10s because they don't have E-sockets to be working on these cars properly with. Yeah, I wonder if they've gone out, one of them, and then we put like the cheapest possible coil packs we could find online because it's the exact same thing, and then now that it doesn't work again. And also, I mean, it is an expensive repair. If I'm not mistaken, these are over like $1,000 a piece. But you got to think if it lasts, what year is this thing, 07? I can't remember. I think it's 07. So if it lasts about 20 years and 100,000 miles, then yeah, I mean, that's just part of it. I expect
again in another 20 years or another 100,000 miles, you're going to do this again. So twice in your lifetime, if you keep this until you die, you're going to have to do this. That's a pretty good lifespan, I would say, for coil packs, right? I think spark plugs are every like 60,000 miles on this car, so every other time you do spark plugs. It's not like these go out all the time and you're going to be doing this every year or anything like that. I mean, you got a pretty good life out of it. Every single thing on every single car breaks at some point. But anyways, enough rambling on, making this video longer than I need it to be. That's basically it. That's the only fault code in the entire ECU. I wonder what that's about. It's stored though, so it's not current. Let me see if there's a guided test or anything for this. So we've got damaging misfires occurring. Man, I really didn't feel like misfires on this engine when driving. That's crazy. It felt perfectly smooth, just weak. Like perfectly smooth, besides the motor mounts being out. I wonder if that's what contributed to it. Like, I wonder if it had fresh motor mounts and it was all perfectly smooth, Maybach luxury riding and everything, but it was half the engine wasn't running, then you'd be able to feel it more. But since it's already like rattling the interior, literally just sitting still in a parking lot, then whenever you're driving it, you can't really distinguish between like it misfiring and that. But it doesn't feel jolty or anything, but I guess you do have 6 more cylinders to drive the thing. It is a V12, so you can lose half the engine and still drive around perfectly fine. Okay, for this fault code. Test ignition system is the only possible cause. Okay, well, yeah, it's going to need coil packs. Go ahead and end that. So I'll quote out the coil packs for him and then send him this video, and you can see, you know, to the penny what it would be to get this car back to 100%. So for now, just going to quote the coil packs out and redeliver it to him tonight because he's waiting for the car.